So Allison Anders, Alexandra Rockwell, Robert Rodriguez, and Quentin Tarantino. We need to have a talk about this film you made here called Four Rooms. So Four Rooms, you guys. Before I get into the down and dirty details with all this, I want to give you a synopsis of the film, and then I'll go into the positives and negatives, which I do have quite a bit of comments to say about. So Four Rooms, you guys, is basically a story of a bellhopper, or bellhop. How do they call that? A bellhop, played by Tim Roth, and he basically, he's new to the job. He's just getting, learning to know how to do everything in this hotel. That's like he really has this, like this big reputation in California. Like everybody from Hollywood goes there. Um, but basically, it's New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Kind of that time in between where everybody's celebrating and everything. And It's basically four short stories in one film. There's a story dealing with witchcraft that the Tim Roth character gets a part of by accident while he's bellhopping. There's another story dealing with kind of this husband and wife that have this weird game that they play with the bellhop in order to kind of see if their marriage is still trustworthy and everything. And then there's a third story where I don't know, am I wrong with my throat right now? But where Antonio Banderas and his wife they're about to go out on like this big date night, and they need somebody to watch their kids. And since Antonio Banderas doesn't trust babysitters, he trusts the bellhop, and he pays him extra with through tips to watch over the kids while him and his wife are out on this date. Things go horribly wrong, and Tim Roth is like borderline about to quit his job at this point in the film. But then there's this big film director that's a guest at the hotel now, played by Quentin Tarantino, who's playing a fictional film director in the film. His boss tells him to stay at the hotel and serve him in any way possible because he's kind of this reoccurring guest at the hotel. And basically, if they don't do exactly what the bellhop is asked to do with this guy, his him wanting to go back to the hotel will be much lower than it was before the Tim Roth character became a bellhop at the hotel. Um, Robert Rodriguez did the third story, the one with Antonio Banderas, and Quentin Tarantino directed the segment that he was actually in, dealing with the film director. And there was a lot of notable celebrities in this film. There was Tim Roth, Antonio Banderas, Madonna was in this, Marissa Tomei was in this, Quentin Tarantino was in this, and Selma Hayek was in this, but very, very briefly. And you really got to look for her in this one scene. I didn't even know she was in the film until the end credits. Um, but anyway, guys, down to the dirty details with this film. Um, I'll get to the positives since I actually don't have a lot of them. For the positives of this film, you guys, the opening title sequence of this film was pretty cool. It was like animated. Um, and they kind of played around with the bellhop a little bit with this animated cartoon. They even play around with a band apart logo that it's Quentin Tarantino's film company. He kind of comes out of that logo and stuff. It was a really cool opening title sequence, and I really wish this film really would have kept kind of to that animated, goofy, adult themed feeling that this opening title sequence had. It was kind of this interesting title sequence that led into this bad movie. Um, so, yes, as you're about to be aware of, this is going to be a very negative review. Um, Tim Roth and Antonio Banderas' performance in this were really good. Unfortunately, the script they had to work with wasn't that good. But nonetheless, their performances were good in this film from an acting perspective. Um, I thought the idea of story number three dealing with the misbehaving kids while Antonio Banderas and his wife was out on this date, it was a cool idea. And I think with a better script, I think that idea would have been really cool to see on the big screen. But like I said, the script in this film was really not that good. And the way it played out in this film was really not that good. Um, for those who know a lot about Quentin Tarantino and his proposed film universe that he's been um, going with since Reservoir Dogs, with the exception of I think some people said I think Death Proof and one other film he did. With the exception of those two films, everything else in his film universe is supposed to kind of exist within the same universe. So Django Unchained exists within the universe of Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction exists within the same universe of Kill Bill. They're different stories, but they take place at different times. And you'll see like certain characters or certain products or certain things get mentioned again, and that's supposed to represent that this all these stories that Quentin makes exist within the same universe. And if you really pay attention to that, you'll know that Red Apple cigarettes is something that was a Pulp Fiction product. It was a product that existed in Pulp Fiction as a prop on the first scene dealing with Butch. And you'll see the Red Apple cigarettes from Pulp Fiction during a scene of Four Rooms. Um, so besides that little Quentin Tarantino trivia question, now down to the down and dirty negatives that I have a lot to say about this film. Um, First and foremost, guys, Bruce Willis and Marissa Tomei were extremely underused in this film. I would even go so far to say as they were shamefully underused in this film. Bruce Willis got to play a drunk guy for like 5 minutes, and Marissa Tomei was in the film for like 3 minutes, and she played like this. What did she play? She played like this person that's in the apartment room of Tim Roth's boss, and she hands the phone to the boss. That's her role in this film. And here's the worst part, and here's false advertising for you. She does not wear that outfit, and she does not have that hairstyle in that film. So I don't know what these DVD cover artists or designers were thinking. I mean, she doesn't even wear that outfit in the film. Madonna doesn't have that hairstyle, and she's not naked in the film. So I don't know what that, because like they got Tim Roth and Antonio Banderas right, but it's like out of the four characters you have on this cover, you don't even get two of them right of what they are even look like in the film. So I don't know if they just didn't see the film or why that's so inaccurate, but it's inaccurate. Um, but anyway, back to my negatives. It's yeah. I mean, when you're gonna use if you're gonna use Bruce Willis in your film, give him something to do. Don't just say, "Oh, you're just gonna be this drunk guy." It's like, oh yeah. Look at those guys over there. Look at those guys over there. I mean, okay, that's cool that Quentin liked working with him in Pulp Fiction, but show that you two enjoyed being around each other. Don't just say, "Oh yeah, Bruce, you could just go over there and pretend to be drunk, and yeah, we'll just go from there." You can't do that. He's this big name director who needs a lot of money to be in these films. Give him something to do. Give him something to be proud of. I mean, if I saw this film at an opening premiere night, I would scratch this film off my resume. I would not want anything to do with this film if I was Bruce Willis and I found out that this was my role in the film. Marissa Tomei was another example. She won an award for My Cousin Vinny before this film, and it's just like you give her nothing to do. And I don't know. I can't respect when directors do that to really big name people. It's fine if you want to have like a cameo or a tribute or a homage, but like it doesn't do anything in the case of this film. Um, I hated all four of the stories of this film. I really did. Like I said, the idea of story number three with the misbehaving kids, neat idea, but terrible execution. Hated all four of them. Really, I didn't like a single story in this film. And there's four stories, and you think they get one of them right. Um, I had no reason to care throughout this movie. I really did. I didn't care about anybody. If somebody died or got hurt, I really didn't care. Um, yeah, I'm given no reason, or nor is anybody who views this film. They're given no reason to care about what's going on. Like I said, the script was terrible. I did not like the writing in this film at all. Bad writing on every story. Really terrible writing with this film. I didn't even think the film got the anthology set up right. I really don't think. Yeah, I would almost even, if you really think about it, this film it didn't even have to be an anthology story. I mean, it just could have been one whole story, and it's just a bad. I don't know. It's just one of those things where you can't package crap. I mean, it's crap, and you can't package it. You've made a pile of crap, and now you gotta work with it. And I don't know. I really think this film really needed a better script. I don't know what else to say. Whatever they had in mind before making this movie really needed a huge revision. Um, this film felt quickly made. It felt like it was made in, I'm not kidding you, 3 days. I bet it took them 3 days to film this whole movie. And in today's world, I bet a film like this could have been filmed in 3 days with the right hotel, permission and everything, with quick people grabbed off the streets to be in the film. Like somebody probably could have played Bruce Willis's part, and you could have just grabbed anybody off the street to play that. Um, yeah, I really did not like this film, you guys. I really got to be honest with you. Um, I give Four Rooms a 3 out of 10. I really hated it. And even a 3 might be a little bit too generous. But like I said, I think the idea of story number 3 with the misbehaving kids, I think if they really polished that up, that could have been a really cool story. I think Tim Roth and Antonio Banderas, if they made the script center around them some more, I think the film would have stood a better chance of being better. Um, like I said, if they kept to the feeling of the opening title sequence with the animated bellhop running around and doing all the goofy stuff with all these animated adult themed characters, I think the film would have been better. I really think it would have. Um, it was great to see some Quentin Tarantino product references, but like I said, I mean, that's not enough to save a bad script. I really can't recommend this film, you guys, and I'm sorry if you really like this film, but I really did not. I did not like this film. I'm very sorry. I know this film has a cult following. I know there is some Tarantino and some Rodriguez fans that really like this film, but I gotta say, as a Quentin Tarantino fan who likes, Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 and Django Unchained, I mean, this really is not Quentin's best work. I think this is easily one of his worst work he's ever done. And I'm still kind of in shock that he was able to find work after this film because I really did not think this film was that good, you guys. So like I said, Four Rooms, avoid it like the plague. I really did not like it at all. Um, yeah, it's almost really too bad that Quentin got himself this low in his career at one point. So Four Rooms, very negative thumbs down from me. 3 out of 10. Like I said, avoid it like the plague.